Rich, I noticed we've just come off the beautiful Great Ocean Road. We're going inland.
Yeah, country Victoria. Gonna find a berry farm. What do you reckon?
A berry farm?
You pick. It's a great thing to do with kids because they can actually understand where fruit comes from. You know, it doesn't necessarily come from a plastic packet or anything like that.
I know if you took my children, they would definitely eat more than they picked.
I think they factor that in.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure they do.
Oh, look, the Penny Royal. Do you know it's the oldest working berry farm in south-western Victoria?
No, I didn't know that.
No, I just read the sign. Well, hello, Mike and Katrine. Lovely to meet you.
Richard. Meet you. Katrina, very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
What a beautiful property you have here.
We do enjoy it.
I've got to ask, how many varietals do you grow? You've obviously got a couple of raspberries and much more.
12 or 13 odd different varieties overall. So, yeah.
And they're unusual
nice.
varieties? They're not ones that you'll find...
Not commonly, not commonly.
And they taste the best straight off the,
Exactly.
off
Absolutely.
the bush, don't
Yes.
they? Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why picking your own is such an attraction, I think.
Well, increasingly, people are becoming less aware of what real fresh fruit can taste like. And the reaction from people that come in, and particularly their kids, that pick up fresh fruit and they're just amazed at how terrific the flavours are.
But when does the true season start?
So we always open up each year on the first weekend of December, and then each year the season moves through to December,
Keeps
January,
going.
and keeps going.
And is it really busy then? Like, have you got...
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
We get quite a lot of people through during
Picking.
that time.
Well,
Peak
Richard
time.
and I were hoping to be able to pick a few berries.
Well,
foraging
you're
for
more
ourselves.
than welcome. You're more than welcome.
Yeah.
Just pick ripe.
Splendid. Wow, that
Look at
was
these.
fun, wasn't it?
I would let you eat some, but you're not going to.
I will.
You will. Look at those beautiful raspberries. I'm going to cook a lovely spice-rubbed barbecue chicken. I'm going to make a sprout and toasted nut salad with our beautiful raspberries. I'm going to make a raspberry vinaigrette.
Love that combination.
This dish is fantastic for the gluten intolerant and the lactose intolerant.
Perfect. Let's get started.
Okay, so I'm going to make my spice rub. I'm going to have some salt. Oh, I've got some cumin.
Cumin?
Cumin?
Carmen?
Cumin.
No, it's said both ways.
Coriander. Fenugreek seeds.
Nice.
Nice. And we'll grind all that up. Very resilient, this fenugreek seed. That'll do.
So's this table.
All right. Coconut oil. Bannockburn free-range chicken. Probably grown somewhere very close.
Probably.
It's local. Anyway, so what I wanted to do with this is I want to be able to pour it over and then that's going to make my spice rub connect and stick to it.
Goes with the spice, the coriander, the cumin, and the fenugreek, which has a really all-round curry flavour, doesn't it?
It's actually quite intense when you cook with it at home.
Smells great. Inside and out, the bird.
Yep, and this is where you get yourself into it.
Roll the chicken.
So you've got to cover inside and outside the chicken. So make sure it is nicely got all those spices and that coconut oil is wonderful.
So, Rich, tell me about this. Is this like a fancy beer can?
Yeah, no, it is a Matador chicken roaster, Karen. It's not rocket science. It's very simple.
For the... I have seen it, I've never
Yeah.
done it, where you pop a chicken on top of a beer can. It's the same principle of the steaming from the inside.
Absolutely, like the
flavour from
lemon.
inside. So what are we putting in?
We're going to put in some garlic, we're going to put in some ginger, a little bit of maple syrup and some water and bring it up to about
Okay, can I do that for you?
Yeah, please do it.
About that much?
About that much.
And the garlic cloves just smashed?
Smash, they don't have to be peeled, which is the joy of doing this.
While you're massaging your bird. Okay, so the ginger
Yep,
and the garlic.
absolutely.
And
A little bit of maple syrup.
maple
That's about
syrup.
40 mils.
So a touch of
A
sweetness.
little touch of sweetness.
And what else?
And a little bit of water just to about 3/4 of the way up.
Okay. It's like I'm making a magic potion. And now the chicken. Do you need a drum roll?
I need a chicken roll. Okay, so what you've got to do is you've got to pull apart the cavity there, so it's going to fit over.
There is no graceful way of doing this. Just get the chicken on the cup.
Get the
There
chicken
we
over.
go.
There we are. All right, so tuck the little wings in. Make it all as sort of attractive as possible. And into a hot barbecue. Now, I've just put the outside burners on because you don't want the heat directly underneath. And in there for about an hour and 15 minutes.
Yeah, and the same thing could happen in an oven, couldn't it, if you didn't, weren't doing it in the barbecue. Oh, we've got some time to kill.
I think there's some donkeys hanging around here. Do you want to go and say hello?
Let's go. Have you got carrots in your back pocket?
Yeah, I do.
No, they don't eat. Do they eat carrots?
I don't know.
There are a couple of donkeys.
Oh.
Very cute.
You can smell that chicken. That's beautiful.
Oh, smells good.
Let's get on to this raspberry vinaigrette. So about a punnet of these wonderful, fresh, amazing berries. A little pinch of salt.
Also, some pepper.
Got some raspberry vinaigrette. Now, all I've done with this is I filled a jar full of raspberries. I poured vinegar over the top of it, put it in a dark cupboard, covered it for about a week, and then I've mixed a little bit of sugar in there.
So you've let it steep, let the raspberry flavour kind of smell.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in there. Gorgeous colour.
Gorgeous colour. So about 2 tablespoons.
Beautiful.
And about
Good slosh of
a good
extra
slosh.
virgin
There
oil.
we are. Look, that's about right.
And I think the secret to a vinaigrette like this is just making it fresh and then letting it steep for a little bit on the side.
And we shouldn't eat any sugar because God knows they've just come from there.
No.
They should be absolutely fantastic.
Richard, it smells like your chicken is done.
I'm going to have a look. Well, that does look done to me.
Superb.
Look at that. Woohoo!
It looks like it's about to perform on that stand.
All right. Now, if you toast the nuts, I'm going to start making a
I
salad.
toasted the nuts.
You toasted the nuts. So.
So here you've got some almonds, hazelnuts and Brazil nuts, Rich. Quite a selection.
OK, kale. OK, now I want to get rid of the stalk because it's just a bit sort of tough. And I don't like them.
I'm not very good at catching nuts.
Aren't you?
No.
You should be. You're a bit of a ball breaker. You think you'd be good at balancing it.
Only in the kitchen, my darling.
All right, so you just want a little bit of greenery through there. And what I also want to do is I'm going to, like, chop it really finely, Karen, and then I'm going to massage it with a little bit of olive oil just to break it down and add some more flavour.
And soften it a little bit.
Yeah. All right, a little bit of oil.
A little bit of salt?
A little bit of salt. Yeah. So here I've got sprouted lentils, black mustard and red clover.
Oh,
you can sort of make up your own mixes as you go along. So I don't really like alfalfa.
No?
No. And mung beans, yeah.
So there are a whole lot more sprouts out there that you can try, especially if you're not big on alfalfa.
Yeah. So sprouts, 2 cups worth, Karen.
Yep. So the nuts are done. Give them a bit of a...
And look, I haven't cleaned out the spice mix in the bottom of the pestle and
It's
mortar.
going to be fine. We like flavoured nuts on this show.
We do. Can you
Salt.
can you smash my nuts, Karen? Oh, this is...
Hot.
Right.
Yep.
That's hot. Done.
Okay. Here.
Yep. And chop. Awesome. All right.
You're going to ask me to chop that chicken up now, aren't you?
I'm going to ask you to carve the chicken, Karen. Totally different.
Oh, smells
Smells that?
amazing. Okay, one little chicken.
Fantastic.
Look at that. Beautiful chicken.
Oh, this is why I asked you to do it, Karen.
Another 2 pieces.
And our crowning glory, our freshly made raspberry vinaigrette.
I wonder if Katrina and Mike have had a raspberry vinaigrette and chicken.
Lovely. OK, there we have it, our spiced roasted chicken with a raspberry and sprout salad. You can find this recipe and all our other recipes at intolerantkooks.com.au or find us on Instagram.
Yeah, and Rich, I have got a sweet treat that's going to be perfect after this salad
hope so.
that I'm making next.
Look, I'm excited about this little treat because I know how fond Rich is of chia. It's a chocolate and peanut butter chia pudding enriched with almond milk. Starting off with a blender and 2.5 tablespoons of smooth peanut butter. Next in, a tablespoon of cacao powder. And to sweeten the chia pudding, 2 tablespoons of maple syrup, or thereabouts. And next in with 350 mils of Sanitarium So Good almond milk. 350 mils of coconut water. And then pop the lid on and blend. The great thing about using chia is it has this natural ability to turn liquid into gel, and that's exactly what we're doing when we're making a pudding. I've got lotus chia here, it's 120 grams. I'm adding it to my 700 mils of liquid. I'm going to blitz it through once or twice to combine. Then pop it in the fridge to chill, and once they're set, you can dress them up with anything you like, coconut, fresh berries, whatever takes your fancy. And for all our wonderful recipes and for more information, head to INTOLERANTCOOKS.com.au. Katrine and Mike are going to love this chicken.
Hello.
Wow. Hi there, guys.
Hello.
I've cooked up a little something.
Oh.
Wow. Wow.
That looks
Delicious.
pretty special. Oh, that's good.
That's good?
Would you like me to organise a little raspberry gin to taste with these?
I would never say no. I think it's a really healthy salad because you get all the goodness from the kale, all the sprouts bursting with freshness,
And a bit of crunch.
a bit of crunch. Cheers.
Cheers.
Famous for
Cheers
that.
to a lovely day.
Thank you so much.
No, thank you.
Wow, that's great.
It's gone with your
Yeah.
dish
Dish.
really brilliantly.
What have we got here?
Maple syrup's there too, in the back.
You've got a good palate.
That's quite decadent.
Good, isn't it?
It's nice to finish a meal with something a little bit dangerous.
Everyone loves a smoothie in the morning. I've got a great energy boosting one here. A little bit of ice, coconut water, Sanitarium coconut milk. Okay, I've got 2 dates. I've got some coconut. I'm going to put a little bit in and then save a little bit for the top. And a banana. This is a power-packed smoothie that's going to keep you so full and ready to go all the way until lunch. And lucky last, spirulina powder, Life Stream. It's immune boosting. It's full of antioxidants. 1 teaspoon, which is going to turn that a lovely, fantastic green colour. Okay, blend it. Isn't that colour fantastic? I just want to finish it off with some extra goodness. So I'm just grating a little bit of the Picari cacao over the top. Matcha powder, another superfood, so it's going to take the drink from here to about, there. And to finish, I'm just going to add a little more shredded coconut. Look at that. Great way to shake up the morning, my spirulina smoothie.
There's nothing I like better, especially when the months get cooler, than a really beautiful pot of braised meat.
Yeah.
Especially beef. We've got some pure black, grass-fed Angus beef here. And what we're making is beef and black bean enchilada. That just rolls off my tongue so naturally.
It does.
The first thing we need to do is
Yes.
season up that beef.
Right.
Salt, a little bit of olive oil. Well, the magic to an enchilada dish is that you start off with big chunks and by the time you've finished braising it, the meat's just shredding apart beautifully. The meat should be at room temperature, not too cold. It's much easier to sear. A good coating of oil on the meat itself rather than in the fry pan first.
Yeah, it'll splatter.
And we don't want to end up with an oily dish. Another big tip I can give you when sealing a large amount of meat off is don't crowd the pan. While the meat's browning, I'm going to make a Mexican spice mix here. And this is great because it's something you can keep in the pantry and have it on hand for all sorts of things. Starting with 2 tablespoons of a smoky paprika.
I'll be back.
Cumin, 1 tablespoon. And coriander seed, ground, 1 tablespoon. Oh, I love the smell of coriander seed. Maybe put a little bit more in. 1 heaped tablespoon of dried oregano. And a tablespoon of red chili flakes. Now, you can increase this amount if you want, if you like a bit of spice. And some black pepper. Quite a generous amount, probably around a tablespoon as well.
I'm going to turn over the meat now. A few more seconds and that should be done.
Great. I love the smell of beef browning. Now, we've chosen a pan, like a large sauté pan. We're actually going to brown the meat in, but also continue to cook the sauce in. So don't wash the pan out, because we want all the caramelised pieces on the bottom of the pan.
That's where the flavour is.
I'm going to add some olive oil, and we're going to throw in 1 diced brown onion and 2 cloves of garlic. We'll add 2 heaped tablespoons of the spice mix and just toast off the spices quickly.
Smelling really smoky. It smells great.
Follow in with the beef, coat them in the spices.
You can smell that smoky chilies. Fantastic.
Oh, it's heavenly. Add some Admona tomato paste, a couple of tablespoons, and then 800 mils of beef stock goes in on top, and that's when the magic happens. Oh, yeah, baby. Oh. Then we bring that back to the simmer, Rich, pop the lid on, reduce the heat to quite low, 1.5 hours to 2. The meat will just be falling apart.
So when you can pull it apart with a fork...
You know it's ready.
You know it's ready, yeah.
Heavenly.
How come we never made that, Karen?
You've spent 2.5 hours going through my book.
Yeah. That was the one I wanted to eat.
Yeah, I really enjoy that. I'll bring you some of that for breakfast tomorrow. The meat's taken a little longer than expected. I know you know that.
It took ages. It was about 2.5 hours.
Oh, look, it's well worth the wait, though. It is magically falling apart. So what we do now, Rich, or what you do, is just fork the meat apart in the pot itself while it's still simmering on low. And then we'll add a tin of black beans. These have just been drained. And we'll stir through the shredded meat. Oh, he's a bit excited.
This is good.
And then we'll make a super delicious sauce to go on the enchiladas.
This is so amazing.
Look, it is a much-loved dish, isn't it?
Okay. Some beans.
And then stir the beans through.
Yep. So we don't need to cook the beans because they're already cooked. We only need to warm them through, is that right?
Pretty much. We're still simmering on low there.
Okay. What's next?
Just when you think it can't get any better, we're going to make a smoky chipotle sauce.
All right.
Very simple.
What do I need?
1 tin of the Admona, rich and thick. It's just a really intense tomato sauce. Stand back.
Wearing white. You can't see, but she's also got white shoes on.
Some smoky paprika, like 1/2 tablespoon. I think that's probably enough. Maple syrup for a little sweetness. Whack it all in.
Whack it on. There we are.
And Rich, the special ingredient, the chipotle en adobo. Which is literally like a smoky chili that's been dry smoked and then braised in a tomato sauce. But before putting it in whole, we're going to have to chop over it a little bit because they have a bit of kick, but we definitely want that in there. I would put 2 or 3 in. But I like it spicy. You do too?
Yeah. I think there's about 17 in there, but it should be okay.
You said you like it spicy.
Yeah, well, I hope you like it spicy too.
Hey, Cisco.
What?
This is spicy.
Yeah, I know.
We'll put some sauce in the bottom of this baking dish that had the meat in it earlier. So, Rich, I think the secret is not to overfill it and then pop it, juice and all, seam down in the dish.
Let me see if I can do one. This does smell incredible. I'm getting hungry by the minute.
I think you're being hypnotised by the spices. Here you go.
Ta-da. That was very...
It's snug, isn't it?
Yeah.
Spooning some of the chipotle sauce over the top. I'm going to leave some of the tortillas exposed so when we pop them in the oven, they'll go deliciously crispy around the edge and all molten and delicious in the middle. So Liddell's lactose-free cheese over the top, quite generously rich. That'd be great. That is divine. We're going to pop that into a preheated oven, 200 degrees, and in 25 minutes we have
We are
got...
going to be eating.
I reckon the enchilada's ready, Rich.
Hang on. Ready? Ta-da!
Well, they look pretty super.
That crispy.
You can eat them just like this, or you could dress them up. A little bit of avocado, some coriander.
There we are, look at that.
Beef and black bean enchiladas with smoky chipotle sauce. Divine and delicious, simple to make. Where did we get this recipe from?
Your hairstylist.
If you want this recipe, go to intolerantcooks.com.au and don't give all my secrets away on screen.
So it's gluten-free, lactose-free. Absolutely amazing. Follow us on Instagram, like us on Facebook, and give me a fork.
Okay.
Stop laughing, just like let me
There's no forks here.
Ugh.